What's up, creatives, and welcome to another Romeo show. Today we have part 2 of our drawing, this eye drawing here. So what we are waiting for, folks, let's roll the intro. What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing? Hope you've had a good week and a good weekend. If you're new to the show, my name is Romeo. I am a sketch artist and life coach, helping people to remove past trauma, help people to focus on their careers, relax, and to help them with anything that they are looking to, and draw out any type of skill that they are wishing to, that they think they may not have, through art therapy sessions on a one-to-one basis, or through Zoom calls, or through workshops that I do, and also helping people, and also helping you to relax through Zentangle patterns and mandala drawings that I upload on a Wednesday. My last week I did my first part of my how to draw an eye and eyebrows, this picture right here. It was supposed to be a full video of it, but because the video was so long, I have to break it down into parts. So we had part 2 last week, which I will just pop the link right up there if you haven't seen it. Today is going to be part 2. It may be part 3 next week as well. It was a long video to do, and for some reason I just could not upload it. It took me 2 days to try and work out how to render the video through using my Premiere Pro editing app, and it was taking forever. I had so many issues with that. It just kept on cancelling it, just did not upload it, did not render it, and it was driving me absolutely nuts. So I've had to break it down into parts. Part 1 was last week, part 2 is coming up now. So what were you waiting for, folks? Let's roll the video. And now with our mechanical pencil, we'll start just creating just a few little lines. That's going to represent a little bit more of the detail in with the eye. They're going to be just slight curved lines just coming in towards the eye there. When creating these lines, create them so that they're more curve shaped, so it gives it the illusion of it being round. You don't want it to be straight lines, you want them to be a little bit more curved. And then the same from just around the tiny little one, just around the eye, around the pupil, sorry. And then those lines are just going to fill in over that catchlight area. And then with our blending stump, we're just going to fill in the bottom catchlight. And then I'm just going to use my kneadable eraser just to dab onto that catchlight area, just to take away some of that graphite, just so it's not so dark and blends in not too much with the rest of the pupil. Then with our blending stump, just going to go over those lines that we created, just to soften them lines up a bit. We don't want them looking too harsh. This is very much the basics of drawing of an eye. I'm not going to go into too much detail in all the details inside the iris and the eye itself. I'll do another video on creating those parts another time. It's all about building up and layering. You're not going to get it looking exactly like the picture straight away. You've got to keep using the blending stump, keep adding bits, removing bits, using your erasers, darkening bits. For it to start to stand out. Now with our mono eraser, start adding just a few little dots and lines in the areas around the eye, just to highlight them up a little bit more. You can see where it just sort of starts to catch a little bit more lighter towards the top area here. I'm just creating just a few little dots and dashes to blend that through. So we get a little bit more perspective with the eye. And then using our mechanical pencil, just going to fill in just a few little dots and little dashes in here. I'm not going too crazy with the detail inside. All the little bits that I can see. It's a little bit more lighter here as well. Then with the mechanical pencil again. Fill in a few more little darker areas. I'm not shading in, I'm just creating lines. And then where our catch light from the bottom area is, I'm just going to bring that in just a little bit more. And then just around the edges of it, it's a little bit more darker. This is what I mean about sort of studying your picture first before you go ahead and start drawing. I always tend to sort of look at it, see where all the light is facing, where the light is coming from. All the darker areas. See, if we'd have shaded all this in at first, we would not have been able to get as much of the lighter areas in those parts. It wouldn't have stood out as much. What I'm basically doing now is just following the way the light is hitting. It's a lot more lighter in these areas. So just add a few more lighter bits. And then just go over it with the blending stump. Now I'm just going to add a few lines from where the catch light is hitting for the eyelashes. They're falling around about here, they are, in a curve fashion. Just to go over those lines with the blending stump. And now we're just going to use our 2B pencil just to create on the eye part, the white of the eye. It's not exactly going to be white, but we're just going to sort of shade in the edge areas, just so that it gives it a little bit more depth. Once again, I'm using the tip of the pencil. Falls a little bit more darker around the tip of the eye, base of the eye, should I say. It's a little bit more darker towards the corners. And you can see I'm not filling it completely in because I want to use the rest of it with the blending stump. In this area here also. Tear duct area. Falls a bit darker there towards the eyelid itself. I'm just creating that curvature now, so it looks like it's more round. Then with the blending stump. Blending my lines in. Gradually bringing it towards the center. Just so it starts to peak off towards the center of the eye. Same on the opposite side. Then with our eraser, dab to lighten areas. Even though we still have some graphite on there, we don't want it to look too dark and we don't want it looking too light either. We have that bit done now. Now we're just going to move on to the top of the eyelid and we'll start creating the eyelashes. So we can see here it's just a slightly little bit more darker, so we're just going to be using tip of the pencil again. Just towards the tear duct area, but keeping the center part of the eye that little bit more lighter. And then with our brush, start to blend that through. This is what I mean about using the different tools to blend for smoother areas. So sort of smoothing out some of the eye area here as well. Sometimes it's great using the brush to enhance the lines and the edges of certain parts of your drawing. Like I said, I'm not going to be sort of concentrating too much on skin texture. So there we have the top of the eyelid there. Just slightly bringing it round, blending some of that graphite into the lighter areas. We don't want it to just stop there and then. Smooth out my line a bit. Using our blending stump. It is lighter in darker areas of this crease, and that's where the blending stump will help you with that. Now using our mechanical pencil, we'll start with the eyelashes. And if you see with the eyelashes, they curve round. They form in curves like that. They do. You want to try and keep the pressure constant. Start off using them a little bit lighter. They're going to become round and up, and as we move round, they're going to come towards the right hand side and more thicker towards the edge. So we'll start about here, and as you can see, you can see the top of the eye where it's just a little bit more darker, so I'm just going to fill this in a little bit more darker through here. It also gives it a little bit of separation from the eye itself. Now we're going to the eyelashes now. So about here, we said. Coming round and up. Down and up. This is why I like to use a mechanical pencil, because it's always going to be that sharpness is always going to be there for it. I'm moving down under the eyelid and moving up. Bringing it round. We'll build up on the eyelashes, we will, because there's quite a few lashes on the top here, on the top eye. Constantly moving it in a round, down, up motion. I will probably go over these with a darker pencil, but I just want to get the rough idea of where the eyelashes are forming. As you can see, there's more coming round. And they peak off. Eyelashes are a lot more, on this picture here, they're a lot more darker. And they get a lot more longer towards the end of the eye. The mechanical pencil I'm using is a 2B pencil, so it's going to be definitely going to need a lot more darker for it to stand out. little bit more clumpier on the base of the eyelashes with a blending stump now, just to smooth those lines out and create more depth to them, especially on the base areas of them. Helps to blend in any gaps. And using the blending stump, you can see that I'm still using it in that curvature motion. I will probably use like a 6B pencil or even a darker charcoal pencil for a lot more of the darker areas, just so that they pop and stand out a little bit more. Just erasing some of those lines out. We don't need too many of those. That's the great thing about these erasers, you know, that you can really sort of help out on your picture a lot. Now with our 4B pencils, we're going to make these lines a little bit more darker. It gets a little bit more clumpier towards the edges. Hey there, Oscar. Cat wanted to be left out. I want to be let out there. Sorry about that. And I'm going to be using a medium charcoal pencil now, just to fill in a few more darker areas for the eyelashes. I really want this picture to pop. Always best just to start off. This is what I was saying about building up your work. Then we'll blend all these lines in with our blending stump. Just so they're a little bit more smoother. Making the iris a bit darker. Pupil, sorry. chase some of those lines away. Don't need too many of those. Making that crease a little bit more dark in areas. Just slightly darkening up edges of the iris itself with our darker pencil. Not too much. Slight little hint of it, just making it a little bit darker. I found that the 4B pencil was not as dark as what I wanted to. I don't usually use the 4B pencil. It's normally a 6B I use, but I couldn't seem to find where my 6B pencil was. After drawing the Johnny Depp picture, I sort of misplaced it somewhere. You can see that I just keep on going back to various areas again, to highlight in different areas. Until I'm happy with overall outcome of it. Constantly changing up. Blending tools, etc. And how was that for you guys? Hope you enjoyed that part 2. If you didn't catch last week's part 1, you can follow that link that I put up earlier. Part 3 will be next week now as well. Sorry it has to be in these parts, but there's no way of me else uploading these videos. There's going to be a lot more drawing tutorials coming up. How to draw a mouth, nose, eyes, ears, skin texture, fabrics, all of that sort of thing. I will try and break them down into smaller videos as well, and maybe adding the sort of high speed element to them, which I don't really want to do because I want you guys to see every little bit that goes on in these videos, and you tend to miss bits when the video is when it has that speed art type of video to it, when it's all sped up and everything, so you tend to miss bits on that. But part 3 is going to be coming up next week. Thank you all again for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click that bell and turn on notifications so you know when I upload a new video. My name is Romeo, this is Romeo Sketches, signing off. Peace out.